James Potter's Application to Court Regulus Black by MiriamMT. Sirius, I need to tell you something, James said, standing in front of a mirror in the dorm. He takes a deep breath. Come on, Potter, more assertive. You got this. You're awesome. Just say it. I am dating your brother. He can see the anxiety in his reflection. The sentence comes out more as a question than anything else. Shit. He needs to tell Sirius about this and simultaneously needs to convince him that he is right for Regulus and deserves Sirius's blessing. Regulus and James have been dating for a few months. Over the summer break after their 6th year, Sirius and Regulus ran away from home and moved in with James and his parents. Actually, Sirius ran away and dragged Regulus with him. James, who has always thought the boy as attractive, took the chance to get to know him better. It was quite innocent. Regulus was his best mate's brother, and James wanted to be friends. They turned into much more than friends. So much more. James is utterly enamored by the boy. The problem? Sirius doesn't know. Sirius' overprotective, dramatic older brother, Regulus Black, doesn't know James is dating his little brother. Kissing his little brother. Worst of all, he is sleeping with his little brother. James hates keeping secrets, so he needs to tell him. He needs Sirius to be okay with this and love him because James has no intention of ever leaving Regulus. He cannot fuck this up. Okay, again, James tells himself and puts on a grin on his face, looking at his reflection. Hey, Sirius. Pat food. Pat's Sirius. Yeah. Hey, Sirius. I need to tell you something, and you may not like it, but please stay calm because it's important to me. Yeah, good. That's good. Okay. So, you know Regulus? Of course he knows Regulus. What kind of question is that? Regulus, Reggie, he's cute. Yeah, no, I can say that too. Sirius, how would you feel about me dating Regulus? You what? Sirius suddenly exclaims from behind him. James whips around. Sirius, Peter, and Remus are standing in the dorm room. Sirius is staring at him, mouth and eyes wide open. Sirius, hey! James can feel himself immediately going into panic mode. He briefly considers jumping out of a window. James Potter, what did you just say about dating my brother? I think he called him cute, Pete provides helpfully. James bites his lip hard. Sirius comes into the room until he stands in front of him. Well, go on. What do you have to say for yourself? Well, James clears his throat. I, Regulus and I, well, we? You're you. Yes, we're a we. He brings his hands together, forming a sort of sphere, as if he could explain what he was trying to say. Remus snorts. I think the word you're looking for is couple. Peter huffs and throws himself on the bed. Hey, Pats, I think Prongs wants to shag your brother. Sirius frowns at him. Pete! James hisses. Sirius, it's not about that. It's not about shagging, I swear. You have something going on with my brother. That's what you're trying to say. Yes, Reggie and I are together, and we don't want to keep it a secret from you anymore, and well, I'd like to have your blessing. My blessing? He nods slowly. Yes. Sirius hums. I see. You wish to court my brother, and you thought this was how to do it. No offering, no argument, no presents? Presents? James asked, confused. Really? That's what put you off? Not the offering part? Remus asks. James, you are asking me for my brother's hand here, yes? Well, I don't plan to marry him just yet. Sirius makes a throwaway gesture. That is what you're asking me, though. My blessing to be with him. Yes? Listen, Potter, we are not we are not just some country boys who grew up on a farm in Wales. Sirius lazily gestures to his own boyfriend. You can't just court him like every other peasant. We have traditions. Remus clears his throat again. Clears his throat. Again? What kind of offering? Nothing dramatic. You usually can offer cloven-hoofed animal. If it is deemed sufficient, then you can cut the living animal's head and then prepare a 3-course meal. I won't do that, James said immediately. Sirius, you can't ask me to do that. Another throwaway gesture. Of course not. It's archaic. We're in 1977. In the old times, after I approved of the courtship, you would have to give him a flower each day of a 12-month courting period. You don't have to do that either, and we don't have enough people to administer the mandatory hunt and subsequent orgy in which is determined whether you are an adequate lover. What on earth are you talking about? Peter asks. It's tradition, Sirius insists. Now, I know why there's so much now I know that why there's so much incest in your family. Who else had the patience to go through all that? Remus shakes his head. James swallows heavily. And what will I have to do to get your blessing? Honestly, I thought being your best friend was enough. You know me, I'm good for Regulus. Sirius laughs. Full on laughs, head thrown back and shaking. No, he says, and kisses the air. You being my best friend has nothing to do whether or not you make a good partner for my brother. You will hand in your application, and I then will determine whether or not I will grant you my blessing. My application. Yes. What day is it? Monday? You have until Saturday to prepare. I want a presentation on your person and why you think you deserve to be with my brother. A presentation? Are you kidding me? Not at all. Better make it good. But I mean, can't you just talk to Regulus and ask him what he thinks of being with me? Trust me, Reggie is kind of into tradition. He dresses all old timesy too. He'd probably be into getting old courting rituals too. I'm surprised that he let you do anything uh, before getting my blessing. James nods. He did say he wants you to know. See? So, Saturday, the old classroom on the third floor. Are you free at 1 p.m.? I think so. Good. Then better start preparing. If you fail, you are not allowed to ever look at Regulus again. As in, I will gog your eyes out, if need be. James brightens his glass and then dashes out of the dorm room to prepare. Saturday. James is standing in the old classroom on the third floor. He is prepared. He has neglected all of his schoolwork for this. He will absolutely ace this presentation. Hopefully. Sirius enters the room. Behind him, Peter and Remus pour into the room as well. Then, to James's horror, more people come in. Lily, Mary, Marlene, Dorcas, Pandora, Evan, and Lottie. Sirius, what are all these people doing here? James hisses. Mr. Potter, good to see you. I hope you are prepared. Sirius kicks a chair back and sits down. I will be your examiner today. Joining me are Mr. Lupin and Mr. Pettigrew. We also provided Mr. Crouch and the siblings Rose here, as expert witnesses on the subject of Regulus. The girls are the official witnesses to the application, and you may ask questions later. James was pretty sure he breaks a sweat. Merlene is sitting on top of a desk. I just think this is hilarious. That's why I am here. Also, Baby Black? Nice pull, Potter. Miss McCannon, Sirius exclaims. I expect respect in the subject of my brother. You're a pretentious wanker, Sirius. I will throw you out of this hearing if you don't stop. Merlene rolls her eyes and leans back on the desk. Sirius turns back to James. Mr. Potter, you may begin. James genuinely feels like he is sitting an exam at this point, but it is okay. He is prepared. He has an entire presentation with a projector and slides. He's got this. James clears his throat. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. My name is James Potter, and this is my presentation on why I should be allowed to date Regulus Black. He starts the projector and darkens the room with a flick of his wand. On the wall behind him, they can now read the title, Why I Should Be Allowed to Date Regulus Black, a presentation by James Potter. He switches the structure. At first, I will talk about myself, then I will give you a quick overview of Regulus, followed by an analysis regarding our compatibility, advantages, disadvantages of us dating, and finally, my conclusion. He sees Remus making note of something. This is stressing him out. So, who is James Potter? I was born on the 27th of July in Godric's Hollow, England. I was thus born in the sign of Leo, which will be important later. I am a child of Avi and Monty, two incredibly loving and affectionate people. They raised me to always see the good in people and shower people with a love and affection the way I have learned it at home. I am a very bright student and consist on the top of my class all through Hogwarts. I played chaser in our Quidditch team since my third year, and I'm captaining the team now. Further, I have been appointed head boy, thus it is confirmed that I am a very responsible and trustworthy person. Despite this professionalism, I am very funny and always like to amuse people, even at my own expense. I am a very loyal friend, and I would never abandon someone in need. And while I admit I can be annoying and a handful, I would do anything for the people I love. I am also a person who devotes himself completely to one person, meaning in a relationship I would totally I would be totally wept. Like to a pathetic degree. But I would be okay with that as long as it makes my person happy. Barty and Evan are chuckling from the back. Furthermore, I have a signed letter of recommendation regarding my credentials as lover. He takes the paper from his desk and hands it to Remus to pass around. It says, Fertilism. I, Lily Evans, hereby confirm that James Potter is a generous lover who puts his partner's needs before his own. He also exhibits an excellent cinema and anatomical knowledge. I have acquired expensive expertise in this field by dating James Potter for 3 months and shagging him a lot in that time. My subsequent relationship with a woman was entirely unrelated. I further confirmed that Sirius Black is annoying. Lily Evans. James changes the slide to show a picture of Regulus. He has taken over the summer. Regulus is smiling, though he is holding his middle finger out to him. Now, I would like to talk about Regulus Black. Regulus Arcturus Black was born on the 2nd of April in London to Wilburga and Orion Black. who are second cousins to each other. He is also the younger brother of Sirius Black. Mocking gasp from party. Really? I didn't know that. I take questions after the presentation. Thank you. James glares at him. Regulus was raised in a very traditional and loveless home, going through various forms of abuse, which have made both brothers largely unable to communicate their feelings like normal people. They all make note of that. James wants to haul himself out the window. Regulus is insanely beautiful, as you can see in these various pictures. He is also extremely intelligent. He's on top of his classes, speaks two languages on native speaker level and two more fluently. He plays violin and has read many very thick books without falling asleep. Yet he is also very athletic. He loves Quidditch and he was seeker position in his house team. He has also never lost a single game since joining the teams at only 12 years old. I have brought a quote from Marlene McCannon uttered at a Quidditch game in 1975. The boy is just unbeatable. Due his success driven and loveless upbringing, Regulus is rather starved for a kind emotional intimacy and needs someone to show him the love and care every day. He also hates it when people take pictures of him and is not above throwing cameras out the window. This earns him a chuckle from the Slytherins. Remus makes note of that. James clears his throat again. He wishes he would have brought water. Compatibility, he reads the title of the text slide. The Black family names their children after star constellation. Regulus is the brightest star in the Leo constellation, also called the heart of a Leo. I was born in the sign Leo, and I am also a Gryffindor, which house symbol is the lion. Thus, you should say that we are meant to be together by fate. Furthermore, as previously stated, I was brought up in a lot of love and thus have a lot of love to give. Regulus needs to be showered in love and affection because he deserves it and never had it from home. We complement each other very well in that regard. He also finds the patience to indulge me and my stories and my too muchness that has been pointed out to me on several occasions. His brain works very neat, organized, and he is able to organize through all of my messy thoughts. He also forces me to say no to some things and people if I genuinely don't have the energy to help. On the other hand, I don't have any expectations when it comes to him. I take whatever he can give me at the moment. When he's too stuck in his own thoughts, I distract him and I take his mind off of things. My love language is giving presents and words of affirmation, and he loves getting things he needs and hear how brilliant he is. In conclusion, we are both horrible at taking care of ourselves, but excellent at taking care of each other. In general, we both have a lot of things in common aside from our shared love for Sirius. We both value the same traits in people: loyalty, humor, ambition, to name a few. We value quality time with each other. We both love Quidditch and we are great players in our respective position. I started reading his favorite books and most of them I don't hate. One of them I find genuinely great. I love making people laugh and he thinks I'm funny. And he looks his absolute best when he laughs. He's kind of mean most of the time and always sarcastic, but I happen to find that funny and charming. He always grounds me when I lift him and I lift him up. And sometimes I don't know what I need at the moment until I see him, and he always knows exactly what it is. James can feel his face grow hot. He didn't mean to say that out loud, especially not with so many people in front of him, but the word just came out altogether with all the other truths. He looks up carefully. Lily smiles encouragingly at him. I will now come to advantages and disadvantages, James says, swallows hard, trying to regain his composure. Advantage: we make each other happy. Also, if we stay together forever and get married, you will be my brother-in-law, Sirius. That's quite cool. Disadvantages: if we break up, I don't know what this will do to our friendship and our lives, and that's scary. James clears his throat again and switches sides. In conclusion, there are several reasons why I should get your blessing to date Regulus. For all the ways we are perfect for each other to all the things we can do for each other. But most importantly, he really likes me. He likes me and he wants me, and I want to make him happy and give him everything he asks for. Because I'm in love with him. You need to give your blessing because I love him. I love him when he's attentive, funny, and loving. I love him when he's focusing on something hard. So he doesn't talk to me for all day because he forgets everything around him. I love him when he's angry or harsh. Even if you tell me not to, I will still love him. He looks directly at Sirius. Sirius looks genuinely pleased, not quite smiling, but seeming to repress it. When James remembers the rest of the people in the group, his face grows hot again. So, this was my presentation. For my sources, please see my attached bibliography. Are there any questions? Barty raises his hands. Yes, crouch, James says, knowing he will regret this. Thank you. My question is, as you've said, one of the disadvantages is that you're quite close to Regulus's brother, meaning that if you ever break up, it will be terribly awkward between all of you for the rest of the time. You have further spoken of marriage. What makes you think that you and Regulus's plans for the future are compatible? James blinks at him. He could have bet Barty would ask something related to their sex life. Crouch, we are not even out of school yet. Barty hums and notes something on a paper in front of him. Evades the question. Lack of knowledge and preparation. No, wait, he said. He said he will one day disappoint his family by marrying a man that he is looking. Ugh. No, wait. He said he will one day disappoint his family by marrying a man, and he is looking forward to that. Thus, I can conclude that he does want to get married and settle down at some point. I want the same, so we are compatible in that regard too. Barty nods, then raises his hand again. Yes, Crouch. Is he good in bed? James sighs deeply. You'd know, wouldn't you? Just reminding you of that, Potter. Lily raises her hand. For how long have you been dating Regulus? 4 months. And how is it going? Very well. Thanks. No further questions. Marlene raises her hands. Yeah, I also have a question. I'm very confused. Doesn't Regulus absolutely despise being touched? He's so jumpy all the time, and you're very affectionate and also jump hug people. How does that work? He doesn't mind being touched by me. Also, he doesn't hate being touched, only when it comes unexpected. Also, he doesn't like you. All right. Sirius claps his hand. I think we're done. Oh, thank Merlin, James mumbles. So, what do you say? We will discuss your proposal and get back to you later. What? Oh, come on, serious. Please wait outside while we discuss. Through an impressive display of self-restraint, he doesn't strangle Sirius to death right there. He curses under his breath and leaves the room. Outside, he slides down the wall and sits on the ground. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. When he opens his eyes, Regulus is standing in front of him. Are you okay? James looks at him and smiles. Reggie, hey, yes, of course. Regulus doesn't look convinced. He sits down on the ground next to him. What are you doing here? Just had an exam. An exam on a Saturday. Yep, I'm exhausted. Regulus hums. That's unfortunate. My friends have vanished. My friends have vanished, and I thought we could use the moment to take advantage of an empty dorm. James leans his head back and smiles. That sounds nice. I just need to wait for my results. Also, your friends are in here. What are you doing? What are they doing at your exam? Sirius made me hold a presentation on why he should give us his blessing for our relationship. Your friends are expert witnesses. Regulus blinks at him several times. Okay, you lost me. What? That reminds me. James mumbles and takes out his wand. With a quick spell, a flower appears in his hand and holds it out to Regulus. Thanks. So, I didn't get to see you almost all week, except when you sought me out specifically to give me a flower. And now you're holding a presentation on our relationship. Care to elaborate? James scratches his eyebrow. Right, sorry. I want to get Sirius's blessing, and he told me to hand in an application by holding a presentation. Regulus breathes in and out, slowly. And you just did that. Well, it was better than decapitating an animal and having an orgy. Why on earth would you do either of that? And why is the alternative a presentation? Because of the courting rituals. Regulus looks at him confused. Sirius said in your family. Okay, let me stop you right there. James, if you start a sentence with Sirius said, there's a 90% percent probability that everything that follows is utter bullshit, especially in a connection with in your family. So, there isn't a tradition according to which I have to earn someone's blessing to be allowed to court you by providing, killing a cook, and cooking a cloven-hoofed animal? No, at least not for the last 100 years. Aha. So there also isn't a 12-month courting period during which I should give you a flower every day. Regulus looks at the flower in his hand. He smiles and shakes his head. No. Also, that sounds stupid. If you would give me a flower every day for a year and then suddenly stop, I think you didn't like me anymore and would want to leave me. Right. Maybe we can agree on giving you flowers every week instead of every day to take off the pressure. I don't need any flowers. Sure, but do you want them? Regulus smiles lovingly and kisses his cheek. Maybe every 2 weeks, and in return I'll try some more of those Indian foods that literally burn my mouth. Thank you. You'll see. I'll turn you into a lover for spices. Regulus rolls his eyes and loops his arms around James's neck. Let me ditch my Let's ditch my dramatic brother and his blessings and go to my dorm. You can take a nap and I'll blow you later. James chuckles. You're perfect. Do you know that? I know. Regulus stands up and helps James up as well. Just as they turn to leave, the door of the classroom opens. Barty grins at them. Mr. Potter, we're ready. Oh, hey, Reg. Barty, why are you tormenting my boyfriend? Again? Because it's fun. Come on, Potter. James sighs. I'll be right back, Reggie. I'm definitely going with you, Regulus says and enters the classroom before him. He goes up to his brother, stands in front of him with his arm crossed in front of his chest. Reggie! Sirius exclaims. You missed the best part. What the fuck are you doing here, Sirius? A presentation. Really? Also, sacrifices and orgies, Peter reminds them. We don't need the orgy. Lily provided a written testament to his credentials as a lover. I feel like you're missing the point entirely. Sirius grins and shrugs. Your dumb boyfriend asked for my blessing, Regulus. Did you really expect me to be normal about that? You're never normal about anything. Exactly. Now sit. This is James's evaluation, not yours. James runs his hand through his hair and takes his spot from before. Well, James, Sirius says with a grin, I gave you an absolute a stupid and idiotic task that you applied yourself to and made a genuine effort in its execution. So you obviously care about Reggie and about my opinion very much. You, in fact, care more than enough for me to be worried that you'd ever mistreat him. For me to not be worried that you'd ever mistreat him. Good job. James nods. So, did I pass? Oh, yeah, obviously. With flying colors. I made you a badge during the discussion. He picks up a round badge from the table, climbs over the table, and pins it to James's shirt. Boyfriend of Regulus Black, approved by Sirius Black. Thanks, James says dryly. Wanka. Sirius grins. You had them, and I will cut off your balls and make you eat them. Regulus clicks his tongue and rolls his eyes. If you're done, I'd like to take my boyfriend to my room now and shag him to make up from this nonsense. Sirius cringes. Reggie, don't talk like that. No shagging talk in front of me. You're still my little brother. That shit's just going to make me angry with James. Oh, sorry. I will fuck James so hard you'll be able to hear it from up in your tower. Stay out of our relationship. Regulus takes James's hand and drags him to the door. If I didn't just hear an entire presentation about it, I'd seriously wonder what he sees in you. You suck. And swallow, James says, without missing a beat. Or wasn't that part of the presentation? James knows his face is bright red. Sirius looks like he's about to jump them and choke someone. James quickly gets Regulus out of the room and down to the dungeon. Keep the shirt on, Regulus says when they're all in the dorm kissing while stumbling over the bed. Why? Because I'm going to fuck you. Because you're going to fuck me while wearing that stupid badge. That's why. Regulus grins, kicks off his shoes, and pushes James to sit on the bed. He climbs into his lap and kisses him again. James isn't even that mad. Sirius made him do the presentation. Having to sort through all of his feelings like that made him realize how much in love he was with this boy. He has never been sure about what he wants. He wants this. He wants Regulus like this, forever. Regulus presses their foreheads together. You really made an entire presentation about dating me. Yeah, well, about why I should be allowed to date you, and how good we are together. Regulus closes his eyes, smiling, and sighs contentedly. I'm in love with you. James slides his hands into Regulus's curls. He can't help but grin. He can't help the grin spreading on his face or his cheeks growing hot again. Regulus never said this to him before. He might have just held an entire presentation concluding with his own love for Regulus, but he didn't know whether Regulus ever loved him back. I love you too, James whispers, and kisses him softly as he can, as softly as he can, plans on shagging half forgetting and settling into a slow lovemaking instead. Gods, Jamie, I'm so in love with you. Regulus whispers during it, and James isn't quite sure. He couldn't be happier. He would maybe even hunt and cook some pork goat for this boy if if he asked him to. He would do anything just to keep him. Hello. Wow, this is one of my favorite fan fictions. The first time I read it, I laughed so hard. Also, James, really, you sweet summer child. You're so smart, but also so stupid, and I absolutely love you for it. I hope you enjoyed listening to this. Um, have a nice day.